Everyone, what's up? Only me, Pete here, and welcome to the first episode of Virtua Fighter 5 Final Showdown, the Online Master. That's right, I'm going to be uploading multiple Virtua Fighter 5 Final Showdown gameplays and commentaries. I hope you all enjoy this new series. There's a lot for me to cover, so let me get started. First thing I want to say right now, I have never played a Virtua Fighter game until 2 days ago when I started playing this. So, I'm not very good at this yet, I know it, and when I'm hardcore, I'll tell you. So, as of right now, all of these games are pretty much casual games. Let me get that out of the way. I don't think I'm God, at least not yet, at Virtua Fighter. Secondly, you might notice that this is a fighting game on the PS3, that this is going to be my first PS3 commentary series. You're right on both accounts. And that also means I'm using that fight stick you guys were so awesome to get me. And you guys might be wondering, dude, where's Street Fighter Cross Tekken? Well, to be honest with you, I'm just a lot better at Virtua Fighter for some reason than Street Fighter Cross Tekken, and I think this is going to be the series I'm going to upload. I know some of you might be disappointed with that, but I do have a Street Fighter Cross Tekken video incoming for you all. Otherwise, I know a lot of people will be happy I'm uploading Virtua Fighter 5 Final Showdown, because I've been hearing it is one of the most simple yet complex fighters out there, and I'm having a blast with it right now. So I'll get into this first gameplay here as soon as it ends. I'm playing as Sarah, who is currently my main because she looks like Zero Suit Samus. If I mained her for any other reason, I'd be lying, because that's really what caught my attention with her. She's hot too, but really she looks like Zero Suit Samus, and that's why I play as her. And she's pretty good. I think she's a basic character, which means, you know, you can pretty much learn her moves up front. There's not a lot of really deep gameplay with her, but what she has is great. And I'm finally learning how to use her. I have a bunch of episodes recorded right now, and you'll see the later episodes I definitely improved my game with her. But even these are good, and I'm really shocked how I picked up this game. How fast I picked up this game. So, a bit of background information on Final Showdown. This is a game that came out in 2010 to the Japanese arcades. The original game came out in like 2006, 2007, and this update here came out in 2010. It added a couple new characters, balance changes, new stages, new music, you know, the norm for fighting game updates, and it is one of the most popular, at least to my American understanding. It is one of the most popular fighting games down in Japan, and I think it even beats out the like of, say, Tekken, Dead or Alive. I don't know if it beats out Street Fighter, but it's totally played down there, and I know it's really popular at any Club Sega down in Japan. I really wish my local GameWorks would get in a Virtua Fighter 5 Final Showdown machine, because that would just be awesome to play that in the arcade with others. I've seen the sticks on it, and they look really nice as well, though I have a nice stick at home, so that's not, you know, my biggest concern ever, but that would be really cool to play this game in an arcade. Now, onto the gameplay. It's really simple, like I said. There's only 3 buttons, and yeah, this is going to kind of be a basic tutorial video, I guess, as well. There's only 3 buttons: punch, kick, and guard. The guard button shockingly works well. I'm usually not a fan of block buttons. Mortal Kombat, I absolutely hate that there's a dedicated button to block, but unlike Mortal Kombat, this game really integrates the block button, well, guard button, well, and it does more than guard. You can combine it with, you know, your kick to get a different kick. You can combine it with a punch to get a different punch. You can grab with it. You can do all sorts of cool things with the guard button, and it works really well. And how the gameplay, primarily at its most basic level, is set up, and I don't really notice it in this first set here, but what you basically do is you start the match, someone gets a hit in, I mean, it's a fighting game, and whoever gets that hit in has an advantage until the other player can either guard their attack and counterattack, or, you know, throw them or something like that. So it's more of like, you know, you hit someone, then you can keep on hitting them, and you'll always get priority while the other one has to guard. At least this is my understanding of it. I've read a few FAQs. Of course, 2 days in, I'm not like a master at this game yet or anything. But more or less, it plays out more like a real fight than, say, Street Fighter, you know, with fireballs and all that jazz, electricity flown around. This one really plays like you know, an actual street fight. And that's what I really like. Another thing I really like is how fluid the attacks are. I mean, you can combo into so many things, and I'm sure after about an hour you'll have a couple decent 4-hit combos down, maybe more depending on the character. And speaking of characters, I'll detail a couple of them from my research really fast. Akira, the dude I'm fighting right now, he looks a lot like Ryu, so many would think he'd be a great starting character, but that is totally not the case. He is actually really hard to pick up. I definitely want to learn him at some point. Right now I'm sticking with Sarah for a while, but I'll move into other characters. I'm looking at Cage as well. He's a ninja. I don't fight him in this set of gameplays, but I do fight him eventually. And Akira, though, he's really hard to pick up. It's just a lot of his moves are complex to pull off. Combos are complex to pull off, but he really has power. I've heard the best noob character is Jeffrey, although I'm having a newbie great time with Sarah, so I'm sure Sarah would be great to pick up as well if you're new to this game. I don't fight Jeffrey in this set of gameplays either. I don't know if I ever have fought a Jeffrey online yet, but that is said to be the easiest character to pick up and play. Now, this game, how can you get it? It's on PlayStation Network or Xbox Live Arcade, and it will run you $15, which is a total steal for this game, to be honest. I'm right now enjoying it more than Street Fighter Cross Tekken, and that's a $60 game, so it's totally worth it. If you do want to throw some more money at Sega, you can get a bunch of costume customization things to dress up your character, but they're like $15, or actually $25 if you buy them separate, $15 if you buy them bundled only on PSN. I really don't think costumes, they're not worth it to me, but they might be worth it to some of you. And if this series really picks up, I'll probably buy them just so you guys have more to look at than the standard costumes. But right now I see no reason to buy things that essentially just dress up your character. They do unlock a like custom battle mode offline as well, but that's not really too appealing to me because online is what's important in Virtua Fighter. And by the way, if you haven't noticed, I'm fighting as Sarah in every gameplay here. I thought that might be obvious, but it might not be, so there you go. I really wish it displayed character names in replay mode. That's the only thing. So as this gameplay wraps up, I'll detail what I did in these gameplays, and honestly, I think my gameplays can be easily summed up as punch, 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 kick. Alright, that's really what I did here. And these were like, you know, my first, I mean, I lost a few times, and I'm not uploading my lost games, but I'd say these are within the first 8 games I've played online. So, you know, I've definitely gotten better than this. Actually, I think like first 5. I definitely am playing better than this now, but as a beginning gameplay, I think it's pretty cool. Now, if you guys stick around for this series, I'm really excited for Virtua Fighter, and it's just a great game by Sega, and I'm shocked I've never played one before. Anyways, this is Only Me Feet saying, look ma, no hands, later.